Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for joining me here for another practice session. So today we're going to be working in through our hip mobility. So hip mobility is one of these things that we need throughout our lives. We don't just need flexible hips, but we also need really strong ones. So today we're going to be working in through our active range of motion to really build the strength that we already have through our flexibility, but then also leaning into some more yin-like postures to kind of see what it's like to maybe even inch out a little more range of motion. So we really do need strong hips throughout our lives. We've got to pick up our kids. We've literally got to carry ourselves all the way to old age. Hopefully we all get there. Let's all aim to live to 100. So having strong hips is super important to help us carry through this wonderful life. Now, today's practice, you are going to need, or I would suggest, 2 blocks, or alternatively, 2 thicker books, and possibly a blanket or a beach towel. Doesn't really matter if it's a yoga blanket or not. It's just so you have a little bit of extra support underneath your seat. But today we're going to be specifically working in through external rotation through our hip. And you're really going to feel that. So if you're familiar with the yoga pose, pigeon, that's kind of what we're working into, that range of motion. And we're actually going to find space to hold a longer pigeon through the tail end of practice. And hopefully it just feels at least a little bit more comfortable to be there, so you can hold it maybe just even a little longer, or even just experience new space. So that being said, today we are actually going to start off in a bear sit. So when you're ready, come onto your seat, pop off your blanket to the side just for now, you don't need it. But when you're ready, take your hands back behind you and bring your feet flat to the mat or the ground. Now from here, we're just going to gently start to windshield wiper our knees side to side and left to right, just starting to work through the hip joint and just noticing, what is it even like to be in my hips today? Do things feel sticky? Do they feel stuck? Honestly, life shows up in our hips all the time. So things can feel a little bit nitty gritty today, and that is okay. Just acknowledge it. But when you're ready, you're going to allow your knees to fall all the way over towards the right. We're going to pause here just for a minute. We're going to let this left leg get really heavy as we give ourselves space just to find a couple of deep breaths. Just starting to notice if we can already feel into the stretch, which I'm sure you can. I know I can right now. And then when you're ready, bring your knees back up through center and drop them all the way over towards the left. Give yourself space just to hang out. Let this right leg get heavy and settle in for a couple of breaths. Nice, good work. Now bring your knees back up and through center. So your feet are going to be a little bit wider than hip width again. And from here, we're going to work through that range of motion, but we're going to go slow. So when you're ready, drop your knees all the way over towards the right. And then from here, you're going to open up through your left leg. So imagine here that your left thigh is reaching up towards the roof and over towards the left side of the room. Now you're going to pause and stop at a natural kind of stop point. It's going to feel kind of sticky and stuck. You can't go any further. Pause here and stay. Now from this point, keep the left leg glued where it is as you gently start to bring the right knee back up and through center. Beautiful. Drop the legs all the way over towards the left. And then again, slowly peel open the right leg. Open, open, open. Find that natural stop point, that pause point. You can't go any further. And then bring the knees back up through center. Drop them back all the way over towards the right. We've got one more round each side. Open the left leg up wide, wide, wide. Rotate through the thigh to the left side of the room. Pause. Open up a little more once you can't hit that little sticky stuck pot. Can't go any further. And then back up through center. Drop it all the way over towards the left. Pause. And then open up through the right thigh. Open it up, 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 and over towards the right side of the room. Pause once you hit that stop point. And then knees back up through center. Nice, good work. Take out the legs, bring them out long, give them a little shake, little wiggle, little jiggle. And now from here, we're gonna make our way in towards a 90-90 position. So you're gonna move your way towards the top edge of your mat. Your left shin is gonna be parallel with the front of the mat, and right shin is gonna be parallel with the side. Now from here, you could grab your blocks. This could be super helpful and handy. Just to get started with, you could also move your blanket underneath your right sit bone, especially if you feel like this right glute is lifted up and off your mat. This will just give ourselves space to find a bit more evenness through our pelvis, which is always very helpful and really important when we're trying to carve out a little more strength and a little more space in our hips. So now once you find yourself into your 90-90 position, you're gonna move your chest over towards this front shin. Now from here, if it's feeling really uncomfortable, I encourage you to either move this front heel closer in towards you to shorten the angle of the externally rotated front leg, or to move your back heel in, or possibly both, just depending on what's most comfortable for your hips. Eventually, we do want to kind of work towards this more 90-90 shape, but you do you and what is best for you. Now from here, have a little peek down at your thighs. This left shin is, this left thigh is gonna reach long out in front of you, and this right thigh is gonna reach out long out of its hip socket. So you have a little bit of a wider stance. Now from here, when you're ready, you're gonna turn your chest back over towards your front thigh. You're gonna bring your hands on towards your blocks, or you're gonna reframe this front shin here. And from this space, we're gonna find a few bows in and out. So when you're ready, breathe in to tip the hips up towards the ceiling, reach your sternum out towards the front of your mat. On the exhale, gently start to bow in and down, and then push down through your fingertips to find a little rise up and out. On the breath in, find the lower down, a little bit of a bow over this front thigh, and then push down, lift up as you rise. Slowly bow it down, and push down to lift up and rise. And this next time here, we're gonna bow all the way down, but we're gonna pause and stay. Palms can come out in front of you. Palms can stay reframed. You can lower down towards your forearms, or maybe you grab your blocks to give you a little bit of extra height. Now from here, we're gonna stay. We'll round through the upper back, keep flicking the tailbone towards the ceiling, and find 5 deep breaths. We're not here for a long time. There's just a moment to get ourselves acquainted with this posture, with this pose, telling our body that, we're getting ready to work. Now, while you stay here, it's important to note that as we move in towards this 1990-degree position and finding more space and strength here, I do want you to work to max effort. We really want to be able to go push down as hard as we can with this front shin in towards the mat, because that's what's going to give us that strength at length. So while our muscles are in a lengthened position, we're really trying to strengthen them here. So we have more range of motion, more flexibility, and then, like I said, a little more integrity through the hip. So find a couple more deep breaths here. Just easy ones in and out as you relax your belly. And when you're ready, press down through your hands, lift yourself back up. Now from here, I really like having my blocks underneath my hands just to give me something firm to press into. From here, you're gonna ground your palms in towards the blocks, get nice and straight through your spine. So crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. And now from here, we're gonna work to push this front shin in towards the mat, and we're gonna work ourselves up to max effort incrementally. So I'm gonna kind of go 10%, 30%. So that's working in towards 30% of your max effort. So we're not gonna go hard straight away. We're gonna kind of tiptoe our way in towards that max effort strength place. So when you're ready, hands down towards blocks. Again, get nice and tall through your spine. Start to radiate a little bit of energy here through your body, so the palms start to push down and towards the blocks. You find a little bit of core strength here as your belly hugs in. Now from here, you're gonna start to push this front shin in towards the ground. So front shin pushes towards the mat. Again, 10% effort. Go gently just to start out with. Give yourself space and time to push down a little more as we take it up towards, let's say, 20% effort. So keep pushing this front shin down and towards the mat for 20% effort out of 100. And then from here, push it down for 30. So push down a little harder. Squeeze your outer glutes together as you keep driving the shin in towards the mat as we ramp that effort up to about 40%. Now from here, you may feel like your hips want to careen off or your spine wants to do something weird. That is a-okay. Bring yourself back through center. Keep feeling in towards the length through your spine as you drive your shin down, and we bump it up to 60% effort. So push down, down, down a little harder. Beautiful. Now from here, take that energy, that focus, as we drive down a little harder. So take it down towards 70% effort. Keep squeezing the glutes to support your hips. Nice. Now bump that effort up to 80%. Push down, 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 down. And now from here, we're going to push down as hard as we can for a count of 10. So get ready, set, go. Push down as hard as you can in towards the floor. Almost like the shin is going to break down through your mat in towards whatever foundation that you find yourself in. We're here for another count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Push it down, down, down for 3, for 2, for 1. Push your hands in towards your blocks. Squeeze your glutes. Lift the front shin up and off of your mat for 10, 9, 8. Shin moves to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Settle it down and rest. Come back towards that folded position. Forearms down towards the mat. Maybe you stay up high. Give yourself space to find a few deep breaths. A moment here, maybe just to feel into a little bit more space. Maybe a little bit more room in the hips. Or maybe just a moment to catch your breath. Another 2 deep breaths in and out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready from here, come back up towards your fingertips, walk the hands back close and towards you. We're going to do that one more time on the left leg. So when you're ready from here, push the hands back down and towards the blocks. Grow nice and tall through your spine towards the roof. Again, flick the tailbone up. Now from here, push down towards your blocks, hug it in. And from here, we start to push down for another 10% effort and towards the front shin to the mat. Beautiful. Drive down a little more to 20%. Ramp it up to 30. Keep squeezing the outer glutes here to support your lower back and to support your hips. Beautiful. Bring that effort up to 40%. We go a little quicker because we kind of know where we're going. Push down, down, down. As you take it into 60%, drive the thigh into the ground as well. Don't forget about that bad boy. And then when you're ready, bump it up to 70. Push down, 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 down. Up to 80 as you push down a little bit more. And then ready, set, go. 100% effort. Push it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Radiate your energy down and towards the floor. Everything is on and strong for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Don't celebrate just yet. Push the palms to the mat and to the blocks. Lift the shin up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Lift it up a little higher for 3, for 2, for 1, and settle it down and rest. Nice, good work. Now from here, move the blanket out from underneath you. Bring your legs back up through center. Give yourself a moment just to kind of shake it out. Maybe you can notice things feel a little more loosey-goosey in the good way. Or maybe things feel a little bit fatigued, and that's okay too. But when you're ready from here, we're going to take it over towards the right shin. So we're going to repeat the same process, but through the right leg. I'm going to move my way towards the back of my mat. So right shin will be in front, left shin is going to be behind. And again, set yourself up as you need to, more in towards the 1990-degree shape. Again, you have the opportunity to walk one heel in, possibly the other. Maybe you want to scoot your blanket underneath your left sit bone just to give you that even pelvis. And then from here, when you're ready, take a peek down and towards your thighs. Right thigh shoots straight out in front of you. Left thigh shoots straight out of its hip socket. So again, we're working in towards more shape, more space, more room. And then when you're ready from here, hands are going to come on towards your blocks, or they're going to come out in front of you. When you're ready, we breathe in to tip the hips to the sky as we lift the chest up and forward. And on the breath out, we find a little wave down. Inhale, push down and towards the fingertips as you lift up and out. And on the exhale, we bow down. Inhale, push down, lift up and rise. And exhale, lower your way back down. One more time, breathe in, lift up and rise. And on the exhale, lower it all the way down, coming down to forearms. Give yourself a few deep breaths here. A moment just to release through the right hip, to find a softening through your breath. 3 more deep inhales and exhales. Nice, everyone. On your next in-breath, push down through your palms. Lift yourself back up and out. Again, grab the blocks, place them underneath your palms. Give yourself space so you have something to push into. If you've got really long arms, you may not need your blocks. I do not have very long arms, so I find these very helpful. Now, when you're ready, again, we're going to tiptoe our way in towards that 100% max effort. So we're going to start out with 10%. So just starting to drive down this front shin in towards the ground for 10% effort. Go lightly, go gently, give yourself and your nervous system a moment. And then from here, we start to push down to 20%. Have a little hugging in of your core as you grow a little taller up and out through your spine, the crown of the head to the sky. And then we're going to take that effort up to 30%. Squeeze the outer hips together as you drive down through the front shin. Nice. Now from here, take that effort up to 40%. Keep driving down. Now from here, we move our effort up to 60. So we find a little more pressure through the front leg and towards the ground. Maybe you can feel it in towards the back leg as you start to radiate your energy down and towards the floor. Take that effort up to 70%, push down, 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 and bump it up to 80. So you're almost there at 100%. Now from here, keep the glutes hugging in and squeezing as we ready, set, go. 100% push down as hard as you can and towards the earth beneath you. Palms push towards the blocks as we're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Get that focus face on for 3, for 2, for 1. Don't celebrate. Push the hands to the blocks. Lift the front shin up and off of your mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Move that heel up towards the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And settle it down and rest. Good work. Come back over and towards your fold. Give yourself space and time to be here. A few deep breaths just to reset. Nice work. And again, maybe noticing here if there is already any more space or room, or maybe it's just more comfortable to be in this position. It is amazing what we can do with even just like a little bit of effort here, a little bit of strength work. On the next breath in, push down through the hands and lift yourself back up and out. Beautiful. All right, second round, you know where we're going. Palms to blocks. Draw your shoulders back nice and tall through the crown of the head. Start to drive down through your front shin for 10% effort. Nice. 20%. Push down. Squeeze the outer hips as you bump that effort up to 30. Keep hugging everything in, radiate that energy down and towards the ground beneath you as you bump it up to 50% effort. Nice, big old jump, but you've got this. Now take that effort as you bump it up to 70. Push down, 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 down. Nice. 80%, push down a little harder. Ready, set, go. 10%, 100%, excuse me, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Drive it down as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push down the palms to blocks as you lift the front shin for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Fight forward as you lift the ankle a little higher for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and settle it down and rest. Good work. Nice. Take your blocks off to the side just for now. Swing your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake, a little wiggle, a little jiggle. Beautiful. All right, now this next line of work we're going to get into here is working in through the back leg through that internal and external rotation. It's kind of interesting, so bear with me. If you cramp at any point in time during this class, that is a-okay. Give yourself permission to ease out and then come back in when you're ready. But when you are ready, we're going to bring that left shin back out in front of us. So it's going to bring us back to parallel-ish with the front of the mat. Now I'm going to face you. You can face the side of your mat. That's a-okay. I mean, to be honest, you don't even really need a yoga mat for this practice. It's more, gives us a little bit of parameters, but it's not necessary. Now from here, you could bring that blanket back underneath your back glute if you need that evenness and that more steadiness through the pelvis. I'm going to pop mine off to the side just for now. You don't necessarily need your blocks for this one, so those can also move to the side. And then when you're ready, make your way in towards that 1990. Now from here, we're already pretty warmed up, so hopefully you're already feeling it in towards your hips. But from here, again, front thigh shooting out from its hip socket, back thigh shooting out from hip socket. Do what you like with your heels. But from here, sternum's going to face over towards the front knee. Hands are going to be in towards your heart center. Or if you feel like you lean over too much in this, ground down through your left palm so you have something to keep your spine nice and upright. We don't really want to careen off to the side. It's kind of taking the work out of the back leg. So we want to be nice and straight in our seat. Now again from here, hands towards your heart. Squeeze your right hip so back glute is on and strong. Now from here, drive down with the front shin and start to float this right shin up off the mat. You will careen to the side a little bit, but try not to if you can. Kick the right leg out towards the side and then bring your right heel in to meet your left heel. Beautiful. Bring it back up as you take the right leg back into 1990, float it off the ground and set it back down. Nice. Ooh, I'm starting to cramp on that one too. All right, now from here, we're gonna work through that a couple more times. So drive down through this front shin, squeeze the back glute, lift the right thigh up, kick the right leg out wide, right heel meets the left. Nice. Take it back, right knee back to where it was in 1990 as you slowly settle it back down. One more time. Squeeze the glutes, lift off, kick out wide, right heel meets left. Beautiful. Kick it out, swing it back behind you and land it down. Now we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to work through a slow count. Fortunately, it's my slow count, so it might be a little bit slower than what you're used to, but try your best to kind of elbow your way through it. All right, when you're ready, back nice and tall, hands to heart center. Squeeze the glutes, lift the back thigh up. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick the right leg out wide for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right heel moves in to meet the left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hover. Bring the right leg back out behind you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly settle it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. All right, over towards the left side. So that means right shin in front, left shin behind. Get yourself set up. Take a peek down at the thighs. Make sure everything's set up. And then when you're ready, hands to heart center. From here, grow tall through the crown of the head. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the back shin up. Nice. Bring it out to the left leg out towards the side of your mat. And then bring the left heel in to meet the right. Beautiful. Kick the left leg out. Sweep it back behind you, back to 1990. Settle it down. 3 more times. squeeze, lift the left leg off, kick it out to the side, wrap the left heel in to meet the right. Beautiful. Kick it out towards the side, sweep it back behind you, back to 1990. Squeeze, lift, kick out. Left heel meets right. Kick the left leg out long, sweep it back behind you, and come back to center. One last time before we move into our slow count. Lift, reach out, heel meets heel, kick it out wide, sweep it back behind you, and land back down. Nice. My backs are already getting tired, but we're going to do this one more time, slow count. So when you're ready, hands to heart center. Squeeze the glutes. Lift off for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick it out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep it in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick it out, 5, 4. Sweep it back around, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze, hold, hover, and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, good work. Nice, everyone. Kick your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake, a little wiggle, a little jiggle. All right, now that is our hard work done for today, but now we're going to move into some passive stretching. So it could be really helpful to have your blanket and to have your blocks close by. We're going to set ourselves up first with a little bit of a child's pose, just to kind of open up through the hips just a wee bit. Could be really nice here, once again, to have that blanket in between the glutes and the heels if you need, or if the tops of the feet feel quite tight, you're also more than welcome to bring the blanket in between that little gap between the top of your foot and the shin. But when you're ready, bring the toes together, sit the hips back towards the heels as the knees move out wide, and then reach your arms out forward. Now from here, lower down to forearms. Before you get into it, it could be really nice to find a little bump with your head up and down. So moving your body north and south on your mat, giving yourself a bit of space to work in towards a little bit of warmth before we move into stillness. And then once you feel like you've bumped yourself up and down the mat enough times, eventually drop your hips back to the heels, reach your arms out long, and lower the head back down towards the floor. From here, we have a few deep breaths. I'm going to keep myself elevated so I can keep talking to you. But as you find yourself here, maybe you find a little bit of pressure of the hands and towards the mat as you draw your hips back to your heels a little further. And settle your breath down. Find some slow, deep inhales and exhales. Tuning into a gentle rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and out. 3 more deep breaths. Breathing into the belly as it moves down towards the mat. And breathing out as you feel the belly move back towards your spine. Inhale to feel the belly move down towards the ground. And exhaling to feel the belly move back towards your spine. One more time. Inhale, belly moves out. And exhale, belly moves in. Nice work. All right, from here, hands plant underneath you. Come back up to palms as you lift yourself up and out into tabletop. Now from tabletop here, we're going to make our way in towards our pigeon pose. We're going to first meet in down dog. So when you're ready, hands come underneath your shoulders, lift your hips up high to the sky as you find your first down dog today. Give yourself a moment just to pedal it out through hips, through heels, getting a little bit of warmth through the back line of the legs. And then when you're ready from here, find pause and stillness. Draw your heels down towards the ground, push the mat away evenly with both palms as you move your chest back towards your thighs. Sinking the heels heavy. They don't have to touch, but it's just the energetic intention as you find another 2 deep breaths. And then when you're ready, push down on the hands and towards the mat. Lift the left leg up high to the sky, 3-legged down dog. Move your left knee close in towards your chest. Move the shoulders over the wrists. Now from here, you're going to move your left knee up to the back of the left wrist. From here, your right leg is going to go long back behind you. Now this could be really helpful to have a block or a blanket underneath your left glute to find a little more support. Now from here, it could also be very helpful to find your blocks as you make your way into pigeon pose. I like having my blocks underneath my forearms to keep me a little more elevated. And then from here, we're going to reach our right toes long back behind us. Now, before we get into a passive stretch here, you're going to come up towards your palms, so torso will be upright. You're going to spike your back toes back behind you and squeeze your glutes. Now from here, you're going to squeeze the glutes as you lift the back knee up and off of the mat. So the back of the right knee moves towards the sky. Nice, and settle it back down. Drive through your front shin, squeeze the glutes as you lift the right knee up and off the mat. and drive it down. Beautiful. Twice more. Squeeze and lift and drop it back down. Squeeze, push the front shin in towards the mat as you lift and drop it back down. And then when you're ready, lower all the way back down to your forearms or down towards the mat. Untuck the toes if that feels comfortable. And from here, we have a few deep breaths. It can also be helpful here to think about moving your left hip down towards the mat as you pull your right hip forward towards the front of the mat. This will just give you a little bit more space and a little bit more room to find maybe a bit more of an even pelvis. And then from here, we relax, we chill. We find a softening through the breath once again. And I encourage you here to notice if you can find a softening through your palms, your feet, your jaw, your eyebrows. Sometimes we get really good focus faces going on. And sometimes it can just hold a little tension. So I encourage you here just to find a little softness in your breath, a bit of softness in your body as we slow it down for another 5 deep breaths in and out. Maybe you notice the longer you're here, the more your body leans into the passive stretch. So maybe as you breathe a little deeper, there's a bit more space and a bit more room. Lean into that if you can. 2 more deep breaths. Good work. When you're ready, come back up towards your palms. Lift yourself up and out, spike the back toes, hover the left shin off the mat as you make your way back to down dog. A couple of breaths here just to shake it out through the backs of the legs, a little pedal out through your down dog. A little bit of fresh blood flow in towards the tissues. And then when you're ready, find space to pause. Reach the right leg back up high to the sky, 3-legged down dog. Move the right knee close in towards your chest, and then move the right knee back towards the right wrist. From here, drop down towards your pigeon pose, left leg is long behind you. Now from here, it genuinely doesn't matter if the front shin is close in towards you or parallel to the top edge of the mat. If it's getting in towards the knee, bump this heel back. But from here, adjust your blanket underneath your right glute if you have it, or your block. And then when you're ready from here, hands down to the mat or hands to blocks. From here, we're going to give ourselves space to, again, find a little bit of activation before we find that passivity. So spike the back toes back behind you. Squeeze your glutes as you hover off the left knee, driving down through the right shin into your mat. Nice. Lower it back down. Squeeze as you lift the left knee up towards the sky, push down through the right shin. And drop it back down. Beautiful. 3 more times. Squeeze and lift. Drop down. Squeeze and lift. And drop down. Last time, squeeze and lift, push down, drive through the right shin, and lower yourself back down into pigeon. Unwind the back toes. Come down towards forearms, to the mat, to blocks, whatever you have handy, and give yourself space to settle in. Again, maybe driving that right hip down slightly as you drive the left hip up and forward to the front edge of your mat. Noticing how it changes the stretch. Maybe noticing how it changes the sensations. And again, we slow it down. Softening the face, softening the body, soft belly as we breathe in and out. It can also be really helpful here to tell your body you're safe. It's okay to be here. Your body does have the stretch capacity, and I think it's important we lean into that trust. But sometimes we literally have to tell ourselves in our nervous system that it's okay to be here and we're safe until it unwinds a little more. So just give yourself the opportunity to slow it down, to sink in, to be safe for 2 more deep breaths. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, come back up towards your palms, lift yourself up and out, move the blanket out from underneath you, and come onto your right glute this time. Move your legs out long in front of you, pop your blocks off to the side, give the legs a little shake, a little wiggle, a little jiggle. And now from here, we have our last pose, but our hips and our legs have done quite a lot of work already. So we're gonna lean in towards a little bit of support here. So you'll need one of your blocks and your blanket for this last resting shape before we move on with the rest of our days. So from here, move one block off towards the top edge of your mat. And then from here, we're going to come into constructive rest. Have your blanket behind your head as a little bit of extra pillow, a little bit of extra comfort and ease. We're going to move our way into We're going to move our way into waterfall. So recline your way back down, head back towards the blanket. Push down through the soles of the feet, move the block underneath your sacrum. So that bony flat part just above your glutes. And then when you're ready from here, move the knees close in towards your chest. It could be really nice to stay here, or it could be nice to reach the heels up towards the sky. Either way, settle the hips back down towards the ground. Arms can be by your sides. They can float somewhere on the body. If you're at home, it could be really nice to even prop the legs up against the wall. But from here, it could be also very lovely to close the eyes or to soften the gaze towards the toes or the sky. Feeling into the legs start to draw heavier as you breathe in and out. We give ourselves the opportunity once again just to slow it down, to literally shift our perspective as we take the gaze up to the toes. Maybe even feeling in towards the blood rushing from the toes back to the heart instead of the heart rushing down towards the toes. And again, we slow the breath down. We lean in. And we stay for another 5 deep breaths. And gently, kindly start to bring the knees back in towards your chest. A moment just to hover. Eventually landing the feet back down to the ground. 3 deep breaths to pause in constructive rest with the feet flat to the mat. Feeling into the fresh blood flow. Feeling into your body settle. And with the next in-breath, push down through the soles of the feet. Lift your hips up as you slide the block out from underneath you, resting back down towards the ground. Now from here, you could stay if you want to move into a short but sweet Shavasana. I'm going to leave you here though, so if you want to wrap up your practice, come join me in a seat or press pause and join me when you're ready. When you are ready, we'll make our way back up towards Sukhasana or a cross-legged position. We'll take the opportunity to land the hands somewhere heavy in the lap, or maybe hands in towards your heart for Anjali Mudra, thumbs pressed to the chest. Eyes closed or the gaze soft to the ground. From here, as always, we move on with gratitude. Gratitude today for our hard-working hips, for all the amazing things they're able to do, and this amazing life that they take us through. We find gratitude back to ourselves for showing up, for being here, for carving out the precious space and time to look after our minds, our bodies, and our hearts. As always, it is my absolute pleasure and honor to guide you through this practice. I hope you feel better in your hips, and I hope that you feel maybe even just a little bit better in your being. Please drop a comment if you enjoyed this practice, if it felt good, if it resonated with you, and of course, if you'd like to see anything else. But thank you once again so much for being here today. I appreciate each and one of you, and I will see you back on your mat again soon. Thanks, everyone.